Today, let's welcome Tom Sullivan and have him introduce himself to us. Tom?
Thanks for having me. Thanks for giving me a minute to speak. And Bert, those facts are frightening. I think we would all agree that the education system is quite frightening right now. But it's not just Idaho. It's many, many states across this country. And the thing that I think is really amazing is it's not other countries. India, China. There are other countries who have put a lot of focus on education because they know, as Bert says, it's an investment. It's not an expense. So I took a couple of notes, which I thought I would just read or share a couple notes with you. Obama on the campaign trail said, "The day of reckoning is here." I think that's important. The day of reckoning is here, specific to education. So I wrote a few questions down. What does it mean? What does it mean the day of reckoning is here? Does it mean that we're falling behind the rest of the industrialized world when it comes to educating our youth? Does it mean that we can no longer be a world leader when it comes to innovation and technology? Does it mean that we can expect to see increased crime and more of our citizens behind bars because we refuse to fund education? What else did I write? Does it mean that, does it mean we're going to continue to send our best paying jobs overseas? I think it means all of these. I really do. I think that if we don't invest in education, all of those questions will become a reality. And we need to start investing in education. So children in America, children in Pocatello are competing with children all over the world. And on a federal level, right now, we spend $42 billion a year in education. It sounds like a lot, but it's 1/10 of what we spend to manage our national debt. We have prioritized education at the bottom. We don't invest in education. We need to start doing that. Some interesting facts. The high school dropout rate in America is one of the highest in the industrialized world. People who drop out of high school will earn 1/3 as much as those with a college education. And we have the highest dropout rate in the industrialized world, this country, America. I think that's unacceptable. A little bit about Mike Crapo, who I'm running against. Mike Crapo has a 27% rating by the NEA, by the National Education Association, because he constantly votes against education. He will not fund education. I think that's an interesting fact. So, I guess the answer is, what do we need to do to fix it? How do we fix education? Obviously, funding is number one, is the most important thing. There are many things that have been proven to be successful when it comes to education. Early childhood development. Early childhood development goes a long ways. It prepares children to enter the education system. It prepares them to learn, or to know how to learn, which we're not investing in early childhood education. Arts and music in education. Arts and music actually allows people to learn math and science better, it's proven. Physical education, we don't fund physical education more, but physical education allows kids to concentrate, improves their circulation, it allows kids to think more clearly. But most importantly, we need to pay our teachers. I find it really amazing that we pay our teachers in some states as low as $20,000 a year. How can you expect to get a quality education if you can't recruit people who are willing, if you're not willing to pay people for that service? And it's the most important thing that we have right now. On a federal level, education is important, but it's controlled primarily by the states. Education is a state's right. It's funded and paid for by states. But on a federal level, we've introduced projects like No Child Left Behind. No Child Left Behind is obviously a race to the bottom. And it's unfortunate because if you have 30 kids in the classroom, and you have to make sure that all of these children pass in order to get funding, then you're going to focus on the children at the bottom, and you are not going to be able to focus on the children that might be in the middle of the learning curve or at the top of the learning curve. A quick story, my daughter in 8th grade in Teton Middle School last year, and she wanted to participate in a program called Gifted and Talented. The Gifted and Talented program. Well, first of all, I think that's I think the fact that we call the program Gifted and Talented instead of Education for Everybody is a mistake. But there were only 25 seats available for the entire class, for the entire school, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. 25 seats available in this class. So we went to try to get our daughter into this gifted and talented program because the program teaches collaborative learning. It teaches, it focuses much more on the learning process rather than just what the book says and testing. So it's a great program. 25 kids in the entire school, and my daughter couldn't get into this class. So we go, and my wife and I sit down and talk and meet and find out that it's a state-based program that works, it's amazingly successful. Why don't we have that available to all kids? Why do we separate these kids by calling them gifted and talented? Why do we do that? This is a successful program that needs to be funded. It can be funded in this state, and it could improve our education system across the board. So, I don't have a lot more to say other than I'm more than happy to answer some questions. Education on a federal level is obviously a vastly different than education on a state level, but it starts at home, and it starts with our federal funding policies. And if we as a country get together, if we as a state, if Pocatello gets together and realizes the importance of education, and we talk about it, we elect Keith Allred, then I think that we can improve the entire system.